Good afternoon. I'm Tyler Gallagher. Thanks for joining us for this Center County Report live special on the total solar eclipse. Millions of people across North America have turned out this afternoon to watch as the moon slips right in front of the sun, entirely blocking it. Almost everyone in North America was guaranteed at least a partial eclipse, depending on the weather in their area. The path of the eclipse stretches from Mexico into Texas, then across the Midwest. The direct path takes it into northwest Pennsylvania, then into New England and into Canada. But here in Pennsylvania, cloudy weather and even some rain will have an impact. We have team coverage for you with one of our Center County Report news crews in Erie and another in State College at Medlar Field's SolarFest event. We also have reporter Ivan Rodriguez live in Kerrville, Texas, one of the towns in that path of totality.
We're now on the other side of this total solar eclipse. Moments that were incredible, complete darkness. Quick look up here to the sky. In between the clouds, I can see now the moon still partly blocking the sun, but obviously now on its way out. Other areas completely now in darkness, seeing that totality. If we look at this NASA cam, we can see different places now looking at Carbondale, Illinois. They seem to be right now in complete totality. Moments that we just lived about 30 minutes ago. Exactly 1:32 local time is when we were in that complete totality. But again, all of these visuals are incredibly amazing. Right now, Carbondale, Illinois is seeing a lot of those beads that were talked about, and even that diamond ring beginning to shape where that singular part of light really shines through on one particular part of that moon's horizon called that diamond ring. But as we were approaching totality here in Kerrville, Texas, we saw obviously a lot of clouds, but within that, the darkness just really began to swoop over all of our horizon here. Moments before, we even noticed birds beginning to fly in a circular motion for about 30 to 40 seconds. Then everything calming down, a lot of applause and cheers as we went into that moment of darkness. And while we were there, we even lived through some moments of silence. People really seeming to enjoy those moments of being in that totality, just trying to look up to the sky through those clouds and enjoy really what was an incredible moment, a celestial phenomenon that not too many people will forget. And what was so really incredible was that many people were able to witness this. About 32 million people throughout that path trajectory live in those areas, and 99% of the country could at least witness a partial solar eclipse. In Kerrville, Texas, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Thank you, Ivan Rodriguez in Kerrville, Texas. As I mentioned, we also have other Center County Report teams watching the eclipse right now. Let's check in with Eric Morris, live in Erie. That city is on the direct path of totality. Eric, how's it going over there?
That's right, Tyler. It is an honor and a privilege to welcome you and everyone at home to Erie, Pennsylvania, the flagship city. This is really a full circle moment for me. I've been following this story for the better part of the last month, but it hasn't been just me following it. All the local businesses around the area have been too, and they're taking this opportunity to cash in.
Erie's economy is already primarily driven by tourism. This spring, the ultimate sunblock will turn tourism into overdrive there.
So we're super excited about the solar eclipse. It's going to have a huge impact on Erie, Pennsylvania.
Erie is in the direct path of the April 8th total solar eclipse. Hotels have been sold out for months, and if rooms become available, Lori Wolslayer says they're snapped up almost immediately.
I think bringing people that otherwise would not have come to Erie for the solar eclipse are going to give them an opportunity to really see how amazing the city is and all it has to offer.
Erie Apparel, founded in 2014 by a Penn State alum, Greg Straub, began eclipse preparation last summer. Straub says it's common for retail business to struggle at the beginning of the year due to customer spending over the holidays. However, this year is a little bit different.
To have an influx of orders coming in the first quarter of the year when we typically wouldn't is huge. And like I said, it's exceeded our expectations. So this year is already off to a great start.
Both Erie Apparel and Diamond Hospitality Services are working closely with Visit Erie to promote merchandise and different events across the county. Wolslayer and Straub say although they'll be working on Eclipse Day, they can't wait, and they'll be sure to pop outside for a couple of minutes to take it all in.
Now, as I mentioned, and as you saw in that story, it's not just merchandise shops that have been feeling that boom. It's restaurants as well, and the hotel business, like we just mentioned. Hotels been going for over $1,000 a night in some cases, and they're all sold out up here in Erie. I mean, you know, it's going to be a special day. Like I mentioned, we have all these people in, not just from the state, but from across the world as well. Tyler, what do you guys got going on back in State College?
Yeah, thank you, Eric Morris. But now let's send it over to Medler Field, where we have reporters Reagan Phillips and Ethan Zaretsky. How's it over there at SolarFest, guys?
Hello, I'm Reagan Phillips.
And I'm Ethan Zaretsky, and we are here live at SolarFest at Lebrano Park.
Hosted by Erie College of Science and State College Spikes here at Medler Field, home to the Penn State Nittany Lion baseball team.
And the excitement is at an all-time high. Everyone is staring just outside of right field with their glasses on, getting ready for 95% totality.
Yeah, the age ranges from all over the atmosphere. It's electric.
The April 8th total solar eclipse won't just be a special day for those in Erie, which is in the direct path. It'll also be a day full of fun in the Center County area, too.
We are poised to welcome as many people as possible from around Happy Valley to join us here at Medler Field at Lebrano Park, to join the Spikes and the Penn State Eberly College of Science, to learn a little bit more about this and marvel at it along with everybody else that'll be doing so across the globe.
The eclipse will be around 95% sun coverage in State College. How much difference does that 5% make?
The sun is so incredibly bright that you can't appreciate totality even with the slightest hair of sun left over. And it's not something that you can say in words. It's really just like this, you know, this feeling that you get as a human, as an animal, as something on this earth. You see that eclipse happen in totality. It's really different.
A watch party at Medler Field that afternoon will include rocket launches on the field and a live NASA feed of the eclipse on the new video board.
We want them to have fun. We want them to come there and say, that was awesome. We had a great time and we learned something as well.
McIntaffer says solar glasses will be available so everyone can safely watch the sun. In State College, I'm Eric Morris for the Center County Report.
It is time for sunglasses. Just under 10 minutes away from 95% totality here in State College. The excitement just got even higher. Everyone is patiently waiting.
We're so excited. There's over 3,000 people here. And like I said, the atmosphere is insane.
Get ready. It's almost time.
Well, that looks like quite the event over there, Reagan and Ethan. Thank you for that special report. Now, a bit more into the science behind this phenomenon. A solar eclipse actually happens when the moon passes between the Earth and the sun at the perfect moment. Sometimes the moon only blocks part of the sun's light, but today it's blocking all of it in the direct path of totality. As the moon blocks the sun, a shadow is cast on Earth that moves as the Earth rotates. During this time, you can look up to see the sun's corona, but make sure you have your special glasses. The last eclipse to travel through the U.S. was back in 2017, and the next won't come until 2044. Now, before we had the science to understand this astral event, humans had some different interpretations of eclipses throughout history. Today in Erie at Penn State Barron, astrophysics professor Darren Williams shared the history behind the word eclipse. It actually comes from the Greek word eclipsis, which means being abandoned, because the Greeks thought it was a sign the gods were angry with them. Hundreds of visitors on campus today heard more about the rarity of the event and how the eclipse actually works. Williams used everything from hula hoops from globes to demonstrate how the eclipse affected Earth. Eclipses have even been mentioned in the Bible and the Quran. Williams says only 0.1% of the population actually lives within the totality paths he shared in his presentations. He said for anyone to be in one location is a rare event.
Just observing and paying attention to the sky, that's something that a lot of us just aren't doing these days. We're tied to our computers and we spend a lot of time indoors, and even when we're outside, we're not looking up.
Go. Thank you, Tyler. Here I'm with Dean Pepicello, Township Supervisor here of Harbor Creek Township, which is where Penn State Barron is located. Now, Dean, we've talked about how we have people from not only just the area, the state, the country, but even the world. Can you talk about the impact that this has on Harbor Creek Township?
We're happy to welcome everybody to Harbor Creek Township. It's been an amazing day here. Obviously, a little cloud cover, but getting through it as I've made my way around the township today. People enjoying everything that we have to offer. but the locals as well, sitting in their front and backyards on their porch, conversing with neighbors. It's just a fabulous time.
So Dean, obviously you're not an educator, but you do work with the younger crowd of Harbor Creek Township all the time. Can you just talk about the opportunity that they have? Obviously it's mostly spectacle, but it is cool for them to learn about the sun and the moon and the stars as well. Can you just talk about the impact that it has for those people?
It's so rare, to be in the path of totality. So all these people learn so much that many people never see in their lifetime. So I think it's a learning experience, not only for the students here, look at this incredible crowd here, but really for the entire region. It's been great.
All right, Dean, the last one for you. I know you're a busy guy. Can you just talk about personally for you, is this special? You've been around, you've been a township supervisor. You never really had an opportunity like this. Can you just talk about what it means to you?
I was out of town, the only eclipse I've ever seen. So to be here in the path of totality, it's an amazing thing. Obviously, look at all these people. When you drive around town, all the people that have come to Erie County and Harbor Creek Township today, they're all enjoying it very much. No different here.
Thank you so much, Dean. I really appreciate it. Now, obviously, we've talked throughout today about the business impact, up here in Erie with the restaurants, the merchandise. We've talked about SolarFest at Medler Field, and we did just touch on the science, but let's dive a little bit deeper into the science behind today's total solar eclipse.
When people see it on a clear day, it can be life-changing.
It's finally here. The 2024 total solar eclipse has arrived, and experts say this is a chance to see history.
If you do get to see totality, you will see the kinds of things that taught astronomers 100 years ago so much of what we know about the sun.
What about safety?
Nothing particularly dangerous happens during a total solar eclipse. Use your common sense when it comes to looking at the sun. If you stare right at the sun, it's going to be too bright and you're going to hurt your eyes.
You may be at a friend's house or relatives. You may even be down here at Medler Field at Lebrano Park. But to make sure that you enjoy the day and stay safe, make sure that you and everyone else you know brings their shades.
If you're in the path of totality and the moon totally covers the sun, take the glasses off because you won't see anything. When the moon is covering the sun, you can look straight at it with your naked eyes and look at the corona and enjoy the spectacle.
But before or after that moment, you do need those special glasses. Here in Center County, the eclipse will begin at 2:04 p.m. and reach its maximum 95% coverage at 3:20, with an ending time at 4:32 p.m.
Now we are going to take a live look at some CNN footage of the eclipse over in Cleveland. As you can see over in Cleveland, they are experiencing just about totality right now with just a little sliver on the left side of the sun peeking out. Yeah, Cleveland was expected to have their maximum totality time at 3:15 p.m. today. So in about 2 minutes, we will see that perfect coverage of the moon right in front of the sun. Right now in Cleveland, you can probably expect the temperature to be dropping a little bit, between probably about 10 to 15 degrees, as the sun is just so big and hot that it actually can make an impact like that on how you feel. Also at this time in Cleveland, some animals might also be acting a little weird, as when the darkness comes and the moon is covering the sun, sometimes these animals think it's time to go to bed and they don't really know what's going on. So make sure you're taking a look at your dog and maybe even take a listen, because you might not hear the birds chirping at this time. Yeah. And as you can see, it's a little bit of the same thing going on here. But that little glare that we saw in Cleveland, in Erie, is actually a little bit on the northern side. And that's just because of the Earth's rotation and the path of totality that it has taken. But Erie, Pennsylvania has expected their totality time at 3:18 p.m. tonight. So in about 4 minutes, Eric and our team in Erie will be experiencing that totality experience. In about 4 minutes, we might be able to see that sun's corona coming off, which is not typically visible to the naked eye. But the sun's corona is actually the sun's atmosphere. Ooh, right now, it looks like you can't even see anything on the eclipse at the moment. We're going to take it back to Cleveland over here because they are experiencing totality in about 20 seconds here. Thank you to CNN footage for being able to send this over to us. As you can see, that sun's corona really coming off in a blue hue off of the sun and moon right over there. Maybe even the sun is in a very active solar period right now in its 11-year cycle. So we could be seeing a little bit increased activity in the sun's corona right now. So Yep. Keep an eye out for maybe some prominences, which is some.
They weren't coming back to me.
Now we're back in Erie right now. Erie will experience their totality in about 45 to 3 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Their totality will begin at 3:16 with their maximum occurring at 3:18 right now. All right, about 30 seconds away until the totality begins here in Erie. And actually, a little fun fact here, as the eclipse is coming full force through tonight, you can actually see Venus and Jupiter. It'd probably be very difficult to see with our sun's or with our camera's lenses, but Venus and Jupiter will be visible. So now we're going to take a look at Eric, and he and the crew in Erie are experiencing totality right now. Eric, what's going on over there in Erie?
I mentioned it early in our show today. This is a really full circle moment for me. I've been following the story for the better part of the last month, as I mentioned, and just to be able to see this in person is very surreal. I mean, let alone, I'm also having the opportunity to cover this live on TV. Are you kidding me, guys? How lucky am I? I'll be quiet and let you guys take it in. I need to take this in for just a few seconds as well. And we have just hit totality. You might be able to hear the cheers. This is a very special moment. I can't believe it. I'm honestly at a loss for words, which doesn't make for great TV, but this is special. This is so special. I mean, another crazy thing that some people may not have thought about. I mean, there are folks on the road here. State police has done their best effort to tell you, hey, you are not allowed to stop and pull off. So I hope all those people that were driving have the opportunity to just get off the highway on an exit and really stop in a parking lot somewhere and really be able to take all this in. I mean, I keep saying it, I'm sorry, but this is unbelievable. You can see the moon, you can see just that ring around the moon as well. And I can't. This is surreal. Thank God that we got in. It was cloudy this morning and the clouds cleared up. You can see the shot right there, live from Erie, Pennsylvania. Or that's Cleveland. Excuse me, that's Cleveland rather, but it looks the same here in Erie, trust me. Here down at the field, we have so many schools that made the field trip out just to experience it. I know all the schools in the area closed down for the day. But we'll send it back over to Tyler and see what's going on in State College.
Wow, that is just an incredible look from Erie over there. Can't do it justice looking at it here right on a screen, but kudos to Eric and the team for being able to experience that out there. That really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But we also should touch base with our team over in Medlar Field. How's the eclipse looking over there, guys? Have you reached a little bit close to 95%?
We are just a few minutes out from total totality here at Medlar Field, and I cannot express how cold it has just got.
The concourse is completely cleared out. Everyone is trying to get their view of the 95% total solar eclipse.
We're so excited to see it. All right, and as you can see, everyone has just left here to go look at the eclipse. It should be happening in just 1 or 2 minutes.
About 20 minutes ago.
It's just moved around in herds, just looking for it to happen.
Live in Center County, I'm Ethan Zaretsky for the Center County Report.
And I'm Reagan Phillips.
That is just a miraculous experience here in State College and even in Erie and over in Cleveland as well. Thank you to our teams for going out. So now we got another live look at Erie right here, and that is a much better picture than we were seeing before. This is from one of our cameras that we have with our crew over there live in Erie. And just look at that. That is not something you can see every day, ladies and gentlemen. You could even see the clouds kind of coming through over there and giving it a little eerie, if you would say, Irish glow on the sun and moon right there. So Erie will have totality for at least another 30 seconds before the sun starts to move away, and you can kind of see that at the bottom of the screen right there. But that is all for this special report on the Center County Report, and we hope you'll join us Friday for our next newscast. But you can follow us anytime for breaking news on our Center County Report X, and you can see our stories on our Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and our website. Have a good afternoon.